Good morning.
Good morning. We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you.
A black grand national, being rational, give them what they ask for.
Yes! 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 Ooh, the Dodgers won! The Dodgers won! Yes! Yes! Woo-hoo-hoo! Dodgers won the World Series! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, Clayton, yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh my God! That was, oh my God, that was the most amazing World Series ever. Dodgers! Yeah.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Good afternoon. This post game 7, happiest of days. Oh, look at there. My screensaver went on. I was wondering when that was going to happen. There's me and my kids. I guess we can let that play for a little bit. It's 12:21 p.m. here in Pacific Time Zone, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It's currently 81 degrees. We're going to get up to 84, daytime or nighttime low of 52. And just want to say hello to everybody. I thought I would do a special little World Series deal because this is a really momentous occasion. If you're a Dodgers fan, this is what we watch for. This is what we root for. We went over 30 years of a drought without a World Series, and now we've won back to back. So I'm just happy, that we won. I'm ecstatic. All right. So for all you haters out there, there. That's what you get. So what I thought I would do is I've turned the table a little bit so we can see the TV, and I thought I would maybe I'm going to play the highlights of last night's game, and I'm going to talk about it. And if you guys can talk pot, I know Mr. Spock wants to talk pot. That's fine. If you guys want to talk pot while I'm talking baseball, that's the Trucker John Show. That's how we roll. We talk pot behind my back, basically. But anyhow, thanks for everyone being here. I see Mr. Spock is here. William is here. Tim Farrell's here. Blah, blah, blah. And all. That's okay. You don't have to like baseball. You don't have to like the Dodgers. That's fine. It's to each their own. Everyone do your own thing. Alvin Stube is here. Hey, Alvin, good to see you. Damon Dog, the big dog, is here. Susie Jones is in the driver's lounge. Or maybe today this should be the dugout, the Dodger dugout. Today we're in the Dodger dugout. Thanks for coming on in, hanging out. Anna Moore's here. Bob Perez from San Diego away. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in, Bob, or Robert. I'm not sure what to call you with these different name changes. Apple 707 is here. Hey, Apple, good to see you. David Weiss from Denver's here. Hey, David, good to see you. Bob LeBlanc is in the dugout today. In the dugout. We're in the dugout because it's a baseball theme. Baseball theme. Look, there's me and my kids and my ex. That was for, I think, my son's birthday a couple years ago. We went to Shakey's because my son likes Shakey's. Even, you never outgrow Shakey's, right? Adopt, don't shop. I'm not sure if I've seen Adopt, don't shop in here before. Thanks for coming in, and welcome to the driver's lounge, or the dugout, as we call it today. It says, I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm so happy for you that the Dodgers won. Well, thank you. You're not happy for yourself? You should be happy for yourself too. I guess you're not a Dodgers fan, but thank you for the nice words. Anna Moore says, I thought today was Monday already. Laugh out loud. Yeah, what's Trucker John doing on? It must be Monday. Trucker John never goes on Sunday. Twister's Painting is here. Hey, Twisted Nerves, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. There's Robert Perez. Says, I wonder, with LA under ice, is it really a win? I don't know what that has to do with it. Let's not ruin my moment. Okay? Let's not ruin my moment. Okay, I don't like ice any more than any of you guys, okay? Ice, there are a bunch of ice holes. Okay? Are you happy now? I said something bad about ice? Today's baseball for me. You guys you can talk about ice, you can talk about pot, talk about whatever you want. But I'm going to talk about the Dodgers, and I'm running up against my Rams. The Rams are going to be coming on in about 35 minutes, as a matter of fact. And then I don't know if I was saying that because I read that ahead of time, but anyhow, Robert Perez says, as a matter of fact, I'm going to roll a bat right now and smoke it. There you go. Roll yourself a big fatty. Roll yourself a blunt. No, I guess you don't really. I don't know. You can tell how much I know about pot talk. Wes Webb's here. Our Shakey's closed. Well, that's because you guys suck. Wes Webb, you live in a sucky place with a bunch of crybabies who cry about Democrats not liking them and paying attention to them, and you guys suck so bad you can't even keep your Shakey's open. Anyhow, I'm just kidding, Wes. I'm just pulling your leg. Kinda, sorta. Cubs suck, by the way. Anyhow, I just had to say that because I didn't even know if Wes is a Cub fan, but he lives near there. He lives in the vicinity of Cubby Land, I guess. Damon Dog says it was the best World Series I've seen, and I'm including the 4 Braves wins. But the Braves didn't win 4 World Series, right? Did they get one? I know they were in it like forever. They had a good run where they were in it like every year, but I think they won maybe one of them. But I think that was the most exciting World Series I've ever watched. And I usually try to watch every year. And especially when the Dodgers are in it. That was the most exciting thing. I mean, look, you had really on paper the Dodgers being the best team on paper, and having a whole team full of future Hall of Famers with Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. Will Smith, I think, is going to have to go in the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. I mean, he's amazing catcher, one of the best hitting catchers in history, I think. Of course, Clayton Kershaw, he's future Hall of Famer. You can mark it from this 5 years from today, he will be in the Hall of Fame because it takes 5 years. Once you retire, it takes 5 years, and so you can just say 5 years from today, he'll be in it. So you got this whole team full of future Hall of Famers, and even just great players, even if they're not good enough for the Hall of Fame, just the whole team of great players. And so here they come rolling into the World Series up in Toronto. They lose game 1. So you're like, okay, they're up there in Toronto. All righty. They come back and they win game 2, actually pretty convincingly. And you're like, yeah, here's the Dodgers. They're back. All right. That first game, all right, we'll give it to them. Second game, they come back and they win pretty convincingly. Then they come home to LA, and you're thinking, okay, they're going to take at least 2 out of 3. That's at least 2 out of 3, maybe even sweep, maybe even get all 3 and just win the whole damn thing right there in game 5. But what happens? Their bats go to sleep. They can't hit for shit. The pitching is still pretty outstanding, but the bats aren't there, and the Dodgers were just one 18-inning game, which could have gone either way. They were Freddie Freeman, bottom of the 18th home run away from getting swept at home. That's how bleak things were getting. It was looking pretty bleak for the Dodgers. They win 1 out of 3 at home. Almost got swept. I mean, they really did almost get swept. But instead, the TV went off. Instead, they won 1. They go back to Toronto trailing 2-3. And this is a best of 7 series. So the team that wins 4 out of 7 wins the World Series. They go back to Toronto. Game 6. Game 6 is the only thing that matters. You don't get to Game 7 if you don't win Game 6. And they have all these just gutty performances by the pitching staff. And they're just, grinding out plays. Great fucking in the game on that double play. Kiki Hernandez to Miggy Rowe at second base. Ends the game. The Dodgers win, force a Game 7. Now here we are. It's anyone's ball game, and even though you would probably give Toronto this, I think, a slight edge because of the home field advantage, but other than that, it was kind of a coin toss. And I'm like, yeah, I just wanted to get us to a game at that point. After the debacle at home in LA for those 3 games, I'm just like, get us to Game 6, win Game 6, and just get us to Game 7, and I like our chances. I like our odds. So we get to Game 7. And man, what a game. What a game. Now, I will say, Shohei Ohtani didn't look too sharp to me. Didn't look very sharp. He as a pitcher. Because for those of you who don't know, Shohei Ohtani is people are already calling him the greatest player of all time. Better than Babe Ruth, better than whoever you think the greatest is. People are already crowning him the best of all time. Great hitter, great pitcher. He's a two-way player like no one has really ever seen before. And so they bring him out on a short rest. He didn't look that sharp. And after the second inning, he pitched out of a bases-loaded jam, which, give him all the credit in the world. But I was thinking, he's not looking that sharp. He doesn't have any command of his pitches. I'm thinking, just take him out. He can still be DH because they have that special rule for him that if he starts as a pitcher and then they take him out, he can still stay in as a DH. So I'm thinking, take him out and just bring in Tyler Glasnow, who only pitched 3 pitches the night before. And he was scheduled, I believe he would have been scheduled to be the starter in Game 7. So my thought was, just bring in Tyler right now, and we'll get as many innings out of him as we can. Because he would be going into the third inning. He could probably finish the game if he's doing really well. But they didn't do that. They kept Shohei in the third inning. And that is when he gave up, I think it was a 3-1 blast to Bo Bichette. I think is that how it went down? But anyhow, I was just thinking or maybe the reliever came in and gave that up. But I think he gave up a run and Shohei, and then they took him out because he was just they were hitting him. They started ripping him. I guess getting my little timeline messed up on the scoring, but because then they brought in Wroblewski, and then maybe Wroblewski gave it the runs. Well, let's go ahead and play. We'll go ahead and play. Let's play the highlights since I'm messing it up so bad. Shoot, now I got to start all over again. I had it all queued up. I think I'm going to have to start all over again and find it. Let's see here. There's my NFL Sunday ticket. Here's this here. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one, isn't it? Oh, that's me. Look at there. That's me looking at me. Yeah, that's the wrong one. This is the one we want right here. Okay, I've got the sound down because I'm thinking that I won't get tagged with anything. So here's the highlights of Game 7. So I'm going to be watching that. You guys can talk pot and all that, and I'm just gonna sort of narrate the thing. This is all pregame stuff. This is Ernie Clement, a guy I've never heard of. He's got a 12-game hitting streak, and every time the guy went to bat, he was getting hits every single time. Here's Kike Hernandez. He's a Dodger. He's Mr. Keith Tober because he's a great player in the World Series and postseason. His stats in the regular season aren't that great, but when it's in the postseason, he's like the best ever. All right. So here we are. This is Toronto. This is their stadium. This is the crowd. They're all jazzed up, all ready to go. Look at them. They're like, we're going to do this national anthem. There's Dave Roberts. There's John Schneider. There's Max Scherzer. He's the starting pitcher for Toronto. There's the Canadian flag. There's Shohei Ohtani. I guess they're doing the national anthem now for us. And then there's George the Cheater Springer. Vlad Guerrero is behind him. He's top of the first inning. Max Scherzer, the guy's like 48 years old. No, he's like 40-something. But he pitched really well last night. Max Scherzer, I got to give him credit. He pitched really well last night. And, he's like 43 years old. I think this might be – I don't know if he's announced his retirement. I don't know if this was his last game or if he's going to try to pitch again next year. Here's Shohei Ohtani. Leads off. This leads off with a base hit. First inning. And it looks like Dodgers are off to a good start. There he is. That's Mr. Wonderful right there. And they do a little head bop. Weird things that baseball players do. So here now we got Big Will Smith. Big Will Smith coming up to the plate. First inning. This guy has been amazing. This guy's been so clutch. And then he just taps it, sort of check swing thing, and then he's out at first. They move Shohei over to second. There's the toss there. There's Scherzer. He's still got the wheels. He can get to there and cover the bag on time. It's a good toss there, and he just beats him by a step. That brings up Freddie Freeman, future Hall of Famer, last year's hero in the World Series. This year, skies one out into left center gap, but right there, warning track, and what was that? Varsho out there makes the catch, and then, but it was deep enough to get Shohei to tag and get the third, so he's at third base. And here's Mookie Betts. He's been having some problems, but he's kind of been picking it up the last couple games, getting some hits. Here he does. He just grounds out to shortstop, 6-3 on the play. That ends the inning. Scherzer gets out of it. They strand Shohei on third base. Now, Shohei, since he was out there running, he didn't warm up. He took some time to kind of catch his breath. And the coach over there, John Schneider, Toronto coach, he didn't like that, apparently, and he kept complaining about it. But they said, hey, look, this is the World Series, and we want to have a good World Series, and we're going to, it's at the umpire's discretion to give, if he's out there running the bases, then they're going to give him a little extra time to catch his breath. Now, here's George Springer, the cheater. This guy's been playing really well. He's injured. He has an oblique injury. He's kind of stupid, though, actually. He's a pretty stupid guy, and he's a big cheater. This guy was a cheater for the Astros that cheated the Dodgers out of World Series back in 2019, I believe it was. Or I always forget if it was 17 or 19. But anyhow, George Springer's a cheater, and he should be barred from any Hall of Fame considerations. So here we have Shohei just really he's pitching his little heart out there. And you got this. He strikes this guy out. So he was doing good, but he was missing a lot of his spots. Here's Vlad Guerrero, the Blue Jays' best hitter. Definitely their best hitter. Certainly their best power hitter. But he's up there. And watch what happens here. Now, here's strike three. And dumbass Springer, the cheater, he's a really stupid idiot. He just assumed it was ball four, and because he started taking off, and you're out, dude. Because you're a dipshit. George Springer is a dipshit. He should just be in the dipshit Hall of Fame. So here's their crybaby manager who's complaining about them giving Ohtani too much rest, too much time to warm up, and they're telling him, "Fuck you. This is a special situation. We have the Ohtani rule in place. We're going to let him take a little extra time because he was out there running bases and shit." So here's Ohtani. Now, this is the second inning, right? So this is freaking Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette, pretty good player. And he draws a walk there. So Bichette walks. And now here's fucking Barger. This guy's a fucking animal. And he just fisted one down in the right field, and Teo fielded it, and thank God he didn't miss it. Every ball that goes out to Teo Hernandez, I get nervous because he's not a very good fielder, and he's been hitting for shit. But hey, Barger's out there, so here we go. They're starting to they walk, and then you got a single. Here our second inning, and here comes the human fire hydrant, I think, right, Kirk, and he pops up foul pop up. And so he can go sit down. You're done, son, for this one. And now here's Ohtani. He's trying to get through this inning. This brings up Varsho. Varsho's been playing pretty well. I mean, he just another fly ball, easy can of corn out there to Teo Hernandez. And this is Bichette. He's been injured, so he can't really run too good. Now here's Clements. This guy's been a hitting machine. Guy I never even heard of. I think he set a record for most postseason hits. There he is with another one. He just puts the bat on the ball, just doing whatever it takes to get a hit. They're going station to station. Bichette has bad wheels right now. He can't, so he has to stay at third. Here we are, bases loaded, 2 outs. bottom of the second inning, a chance for Toronto to really break it open here early in the game. The bases loaded, and with Shohei Ohtani coming off a short rest and really not really looking real sharp. Not looking real sharp. And then here's this guy, Jimenez, who's kind of an asshole, and he gets struck out. Shohei strikes him out, gets out of the jam, and I was just thinking at this point, this would be a great time for Dave Roberts to go ahead and pull him as a pitcher because he wasn't looking good. I mean, he was okay. We got out of the jam. Now here's Max Scherzer. He's been pitching really well. And here we are, top of the third. And that was Miggy Rowe. He struck out Miggy. Toronto's going crazy. They're like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We got this. We got this. And here's Shohei. Now he's been pitching and now he's hitting. He already had a single in the first inning. There he goes. He gets this one here, hits it out to left field. Guys, this guy makes a great catch. Really a good catch. Shohei's like, damn it. Damn it, damn it. I almost got one. Nice catch there. Scherzer's happy. So now we go down to the bottom of the third. And he's like upset still because Shohei's getting all this rest or getting all this extra time to warm up. But boo fuckity hoo. Boo hoo. You got time to fucking rest. Big deal. You know? Here's a cheater, George Springer, the big cheater. He clubs one out there in left field. Yeah, he got another hit. George got a lot of hits, but the guy's an asshole. I'm telling you, George Springer's a fucking piece of shit. So here's Shohei Ohtani. He's like, oh my god, can't believe this asshole's on first base again. This guy squares up the bunt, lays down a bunt, nowhere to go really except to first base, and Freddie Freeman just does his Freddie magic, digs it out. But they do move the runner over to second with one out. Here's Vlad Guerrero. Pass ball. Springer goes to third. Remember, Guerrero is probably the best hitter on the team for Toronto. They go ahead and walk him. And now you got first and third out there. And I believe Bichette's up now. Yeah, there's Bo Bichette. I always want to say Dante Bichette, but it's Bo Bichette Jr. Here's Shohei's going like, I got to do something here. So one away, boom, gone. See ya. He does his little bat flip. Big 3-run blast. Puts Toronto up 3-0 in the bottom of the third. The fans are going crazy. Toronto Blue Jays fans and everyone, they can taste the World Series at this point. They can taste it. They're like, wow, we got this. We're going to win it. We're going to beat these Dodgers. This is it. This World Series trophy is ours. Yeah. High five. Chest bump. Pat you on the ass. Yeah, there it is. It's gone. He's like, yeah, I'm bad. He's like, take that, Shohei. Who's Mr. World now? And there's Springer the cheater with his little hands up in the air, and that lady says it's our World Series. They're happy. This guy's like, yeah, Vlad Guerrero, he's into it. It was a good shot, a good home run, and I'm just saying, gee, at this point I'm like, see, I was right. They should have taken Shohei out. They should have never let him come out for the third inning on the mound. They should have put Tyler Glasnow in. That's what I was saying. So at this point, I'm all ready to start just totally, criticizing Dave Roberts at this point. So here's Scherzer, old 59-year-old guy. He's not 59, I'm just kidding, but he's old, and he's pitching a hell of a game. Big Will Smith comes up, and what's he do? He just almost hits it out. This guy can't make the catch. Big double for Big Will Smith. I'm telling you, I know Yashimoto got the MVP, World Series MVP, and I think he deserved it. But I got to put honorable mentions for. I got to put Will Smith honorable mention and Miggy Rowe honorable mention for sure. Those two guys. Look at that, just off his glove, can't make the catch. He almost hit it out, but it's right there off the wall, off the Pizza Nova. Now you got Freddie Freeman. He hits a single down the right field, and that's going to send Big Will Smith over to third base. So here we are, top of the fourth inning, first and third. Runners on first and third. They're making a call. We need to get some relief going. Mookie Betts been struggling at the plate lately. There he goes. He pops it up. He's really pissed. He just slammed his bat into the ground. It's too shallow. It's too shallow for Will Smith to tag and score. So he's got to stay at third. Freddie stays at first. Mookie's pissed off at himself. Max Scherzer's like, I got this. Don't worry, coach. Big Mighty Max. You got Mad Max versus Mighty Max, and here's Matt. That's what I call Max Muncy. I call him Mighty Max, and he's up there, and he's got some plate discipline. He's got a good eye. He draws a walk. So now it's bases loaded, and you got Teo Hernandez, who's been really struggling at the plate, and he's a wild swinger. He's one of those wild swingers guys. He's either hit or miss. He either hits a home run or he strikes out. So I'm not really thinking too many good things about him, but there he goes, and this guy makes a great catch, and it's deep enough where Big Will Smith is able to tag up and score it. So at least we got a run out of that. So thank you, Teo. Teo did good. He got the bat on the ball, and it was a really good hit. And if this guy hadn't made that catch, that would have knocked in 3 runs. But he's able to get there, makes a great catch. Look, puts his glove up there. That's Varsho. Varsho, really great fielder. Tip my hat to Varsho. He's not a cheater like George Springer is. Now we got Tommy Edmonds. He was last year's, I think, NLCS MVP, and he just hits this, and he caught that on the fly, so that ended the inning. And they're jacked up. They had bases loaded. They only gave up 1 run, so they're really happy. Toronto, they're fired up. And they're like, we got this, man. And Vlad's like, yeah, we got this. We got this. Fuck these Dodgers. He's like, fuck these Dodgers. And now they bring in Wroblewski in relief. And this motherfucker, Jimenez, he's like sticking his hands out. I think he's trying to get hit here. Look at there. Look at that fucker. He's trying to get hit. And then, and the pitcher's pitching him tight, and then he hits him. And then they're like, what? He's like, what? Wroblewski's like, you think I wanted to hit you, you stupid fuck? You're sticking your hands out across the fucking plate like a fucking pussy. So then they all, they come out, they run out, and they yell at each other, and bullpens come out. It's kind of funny. But it's kind of unusual to see that in a World Series, like a bench clearing. It wasn't a brawl, but it was a bench clearing talking to, I guess, is what it would be. And by the way, I'm not watching the chat right now. Oh, wow, my thing shut off for some reason. That usually doesn't happen. All right, so let's get that going. So anyhow, what did I miss? Oh, yeah, they're still grumbling. They issued warnings to both teams. It really didn't amount to anything. But, this guy, he's crowding the plate. I think he was trying to get hit. So, fuck him. He's an asshole. And he's like, fuck you. He's like, fuck you, man. You really think I wanted to hit you? You think I really want to put a base runner on? Because don't be stupid like George, the cheater Springer. And then George hits that one and bounces off the pitcher's legs. They're unable to make a play. So now here we go. Toronto's going. They're at it again. First and second. They got things going. They got base runners. There's Tyler finally getting him in the bullpen. He should have come in the third inning, as far as I'm concerned. So here this guy with a nice haircut, and he swings it. Go sit down. You can go sit down, son. Wroblewski just got rid of you, so you're done. Now Dev says, okay, we're going to bring in Tyler. Finally, we're bringing Tyler. Rob, good job. You did your job. Now here's Tyler Glasnow, who should have come in, but in the third inning, as far as I'm concerned, top of the third, like from the very beginning with clean bases and everything. So this guy's a starting pitcher. So now we're going against Vlad, the best hitter on the Toronto Blue Jays, and he hits one pretty good, but it's like way short. Joe Davis. I remember when he was announcing this, he's going like, he almost hit it out. It wasn't even close to hitting it out. Now here's Max Scherzer, 78 years old, still out there pitching a hell of a game. Miggy Rowe's coming up now. Here's Miggy. Is that Miggy? Yeah, that's Miggy Rowe. Look at him. Just slaps a base hit to left field. he's like, you know what? We're just going to keep going, and we're going to keep hitting, and we're going to keep at you. Here's Shohei Ohtani, Dodgers' best hitter, and Schneider's going to pull out Scherzer. And there he goes, and the fans are giving him, and he's like, yeah, my heart's going to give out because I'm 99 years old. But thank you, guys. Thank you. So this brings in, this is Louis Varland, who was a pretty good pitcher, but didn't look so great last night, I don't think, if I recall. He didn't look so great. There's Shohei, hits a base hit to right field, and Miggy stays at second because fucking that right fielder, Barger, has a fucking cannon of an arm. Now here's Big Will Smith. Now he hits one pretty deep. Shy of the warning track, and Varsher with another cannon of an arm. Runners have to hold. That wasn't hit deep enough to move any runners over. So here comes Freddie Freeman with 2 outs. He hits a pretty good one. He popped it up. So this people just flying out, not hitting, not getting hits. Scherzer's happy because they didn't score. Now we go to now we're at top of the 6th inning. I guess we just skipped the Blue Jays because they didn't do shit. And we've got Mookie Betts leading off for the Dodgers. They've got Bassett in there for Toronto pitching. So you got Mookie draws a walk. That brings up Mighty Max Weinberg. And he clubs one out to right field. So here we are again. The Dodgers they're getting hits at this point. They're just going to keep hitting and keep hitting and keep hitting until finally they can cash in. So here are first and second. Here's Teo, the wild swinger, the guy who's hit or miss, but he's been showing some plate discipline in this game. Hits one back to the mound. They are able to get the runner at second, but that's all they get. So we got runners at the corners for the Dodgers. Fielder's choice for Teo there. This brings up Tommy Edmonds, who really hasn't been hitting well at all in the series. Not really playing up to what he played up to last year. But you got 1 out. It's too shallow. It's way too shallow. Wait. I thought it was too shallow. Oh, look at there. It was just a shitty throw. Mookie Betts is able to score on the Tommy Edmonds sacrifice fly. So I fooled you guys. It wasn't too shallow. So here we go. Dodgers get a run. They're chipping away at the lead. Here's Tyler Glasnow in there. And this is Clements. This is the hitting machine. And he hits another base hit for Clements to lead off the bottom of the 6th for Toronto. Toronto leading 3-2. And now Tyler facing Jimenez, the weirdo who sticks his hands out to get hit. And, Clements just sort of took that bag. Glasnow not really holding him on. And then here's a fly that Teo Hernandez can't get to. And that's going to bring Clements around to score. And there's this funny slide. I thought that was funny. I thought it was kind of cute. Kind of, I had no problem with that way he did that. And they're feeling themselves. Toronto's feeling themselves. They're like, we got this. We got this. Every time they score, we're going to score. We're not going to let them catch up to us. That's their thing. Tyler's a little pissed off. And there's the Clements coming around, happy as a fucking bug in a bed. Now this is the cheater. This is Springer the cheater. I think he strikes out. So you can go sit down, son, in your cheater chair. And that brings up Luke. See, this flies out, center field. And runner tags, goes to third. But there's 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tyler Glasnow still on the mound. Big lead there, third. You got Guerrero, Toronto's best hitter, Bichette on deck, who already hit that 3-run homer earlier. So it's getting kind of tense. What can Tyler do? Can he get out of this inning? Muncy takes the cuts off Mookie Betts there, throws the first, and that ends the inning. Glasnow gets out of it, pretty much. Gave up a run there, but now this guy comes in, who was I think a starter, right? This is what the fuck's his name? But he did not look good. He walks Shohei. Big Will Smith comes up, and He hits it out there, shy of the warning track. So he's not able to advance. He stays at first. And but Yasavage, I think looked a little tired. Wasn't as sharp coming off. He just pitched, didn't he? So not looking as sharp as he had in his two previous appearances. There's Freddie. Hits into a double play, very close, but he hits into a double play, and that is a pitcher's best friend, and that gets Savage out of off the hook there. Toronto's still leading 4-2, and here we go to top of the eighth inning. Toronto 4-2. They can smell this World Series. They can smell the champagne. There's a Savage still out there. Probably kept him in too long. He wasn't looking that sharp. He did get saved by that double play earlier. That's what saved him. Mighty Max Muncy comes up and says, yeah, see ya. Boom. Fucking upper decker. A one-run blast. Puts the Dodgers within one run. He says, fuck you. We're not done either. We're not done either, son. 4-3, top of the eighth. Big Mighty Max Muncy with one of his just prolific home runs. Is that the word? Look at that. Just smashed it. And he gets the sunflower seed shower, which I think is better than that stupid coat that Toronto wears. There they are, all the high fives. They're like, yeah. We can do this. So bottom of the eighth, 4-3 game. Bottom of the eighth inning. We're almost to the end. Here's Clements, the hitting machine. Now they bring in Emmett for the Dodgers. And Clement, I believe, got another hit. Yeah. Bounces it off the wall for a stand-up double. Clement's just amazing. Just a hitting machine. Some dude I never fucking heard of before. Just a hitting fucking machine. Leads off the bottom of the eighth with a double. So you're just thinking Toronto is just going for it. They're smelling blood. So Dave Roberts puts in Blake Snell, another starting pitcher. And this guy squares up like he's going to bunt. This is Jimenez, the weirdo that likes to get hit. And then look at that. Muncy just makes the snag. Like, what do I got there? Merry Christmas. Yeah, well, that's the way it goes, Jimenez. That's the way it goes. So now we got Springer the cheater is up again. And he strikes out. You can go sit down, son. Yeah, go sit down and go to your cheater chair. Go sit in your cheating chair. Now, here's a scary moment. This is Schneider. I think Dave Schneider. He's the one that hit a home run off of Blake Snell in L.A. And here he is. Snell puts him down and says, yeah, that's right, son. You're not going to hit a home run off me this time. There's Miggy and Kiki Hernandez. Kiki will lead off the top of the ninth. Top of the ninth inning. Dodgers down. If they don't come back here, Toronto wins. And Kiki leads off the inning with a strikeout. And he's like, God dang it. Shouldn't have swung at that crazy pitch. Here we are, top of the ninth, one away, and the Toronto fans and the Toronto Blue Jays, they can smell the champagne. And look at here. Here's Miggy Rowe up there, fouling off pitches, taking pitches, staying alive. Takes that one inside pitch. Toronto's like, woo, no. Miggy's up there, just pitch after pitch after pitch. Now he get to a full count, and he just wants to just stay alive. Miggy Rowe just wants to stay alive, man. And boom, that's what I call staying alive. That was your action pitch. That's what John Smo says. Yeah, that's a putting it in the bleachers pitch. Yeah, Miggy Rowe, a guy who was just put in a couple games ago. Hadn't even been playing. Ties the game up in the top of the ninth, 4-4. a 4-4 tie. Toronto cannot believe what's happening to them right now. They cannot fucking believe it. They're just like, oh my God, how is this happening? He's like, what the hell? Miggy Rowe, a guy who hits about 4 home runs a year, maybe, if that, 4 or 5. They put Miggy Rowe in for a reason. Dave Roberts put him in for a reason. He might not have been expecting a home run, but he was expecting good at bats. Not really swinging wildly, and being a great fielder, great presence. So here it is, bottom of the ninth, Vlad Guerrero, their best power hitter and probably their best hitter on the team. He's there, getting ready, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna win this. I'm gonna take care of it right here." And boom, there it is, bat flip. No, not even close. Not even to the warning track. Not even to the warning track. All right, so you can go sit down. Here's Bichette. He had the big blast earlier, but that wasn't off of this guy. Now here he rips this one for a base hit in the left field. So Toronto's got something going. Bottom of the ninth inning, they got a base runner with just 1 out. They're going to pinch run for Bichette because Bichette's got bad wheels right now, coming off knee injuries or something. And but yeah, so Toronto's got something cooking, and everyone's like, yeah, they're going to do this. But Blake Snell has other things in mind, and this is Barger up there. He draws the walk. And now you got first and second with 1 out. And that was just off the plate. And they're happy. They're applauding. They're like, all right. So now the man of the hour, the man of the series is coming on in. Yoshi Yamamoto, who has pitched. He just pitched. He started 2 previous games where he went, I think, over 100 pitches. And now he's coming in, and now he's going to face the first batter he faces is the human fire hydrant, and he hits him. He plunks him with 1 out. He plunked him, and it loads up the bases. It's not looking good for the Dodgers at this point. It's not looking good. Bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. They make some defensive changes. They put Andy Pages. Oops, I'm sorry, but Mike was so close. They put Pages in center field because Tommy Evans, he's got bad wheels too. And there's this hit that hit the Miggy Rowe. Bases loaded. He fires it to the plate after kind of stumbling, and they just get it. The closest play you're ever going to see, right there. Force out at home plate. So they don't score. If they score, that's it. The game's over. And the World Series goes to Toronto. And you can see how Will Smith taps the plate, and there it is right there. Right there, there's an overhead shot. I don't know if they're showing it, but where you can see that there, he just got it in there. Just got it in there. So that keeps him from scoring. And now here comes the human hitting machine with Clements. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And here you have Andy Pages just came in, and he bulls over Kike Hernandez to make the catch and end the inning. If they don't make that catch, again, Toronto wins the World Series. If they don't make that fucking catch. Now, I think Kike had it. I think Kike would have made the catch. I think he had it all lined up, and he was going to make a over-the-shoulder catch. But Andy Pages just locked in, didn't pay any attention to Kike. He's like, this ball is getting caught no matter what. And he caught it, and fortunately, Kike Hernandez was okay, and all is good. Top of the 10th inning. Here's my honorable mention MVP coming up pretty soon. Here's Freddie Freeman leads off the inning. Future Hall of Famer. I think wasn't he last year's World Series MVP? And he hits one. He clubs one pretty good out to left field, all the way almost to the wall. but it's a long out, just a big long out. So one away, top of the ninth. Here's Mookie Betts, and he takes a walk. He gets walked. This brings up Mighty Max. Mighty Max, who already hit a prestigious home run earlier in the game, hits this one, base hit up the middle. So you got first and second, one away. Here we are, top of the 10th. This is so much tension right now, so much just sitting on the edge of your seat. Here's Teo Hernandez, who laid off that pitch. Good for him. When I was watching the game, I was like, yeah, Teo, great plate discipline. So bases loaded, and then here's Andy Paz, has had a real hard time at the plate in the series, and he hits one up the middle, and they're able to do their play at home, just like the Dodgers have done. And so Mookie was out at home plate. Dodgers don't score. It's still 4-4, 2 outs, and they come right home with it. Now that would not have ended the game since it's the top of the inning, but that would have put the Dodgers up, 5-4. But they don't do it. And here's Kiki Hernandez again, Mr. Keith Tober, and he taps one down the first base line, and then he's just they're able to shovel the ball to the pitcher and just barely got him out. Very, very close play at first, but that ends the inning. They get out of it. Toronto gets out of it. And see, there he is. He finds the bag just before Kike can get there. And that ends the inning, ends the threat. It's still, we go to the bottom of the 10th, still tied 4-4. Kike's like, damn it. Bottom of the 10th. And Yamamoto's still out there pitching like a madman. Here's Jimenez. He likes to cheat. He likes to stick his hands out and try to get hit. He grounds out. A little weak hit there. A little weak grounder. Second base. 4-3 on the putout. One away. Yamamoto pitched 105 innings or pitches in the game 2. Was it? Graphic's gone. And there's George Springer, who strikes out again. This George the cheater Springer. Go sit down. Go find your cheater chair because you're a cheater. And then here's some dude named Straw. Never heard of. He gets a big old harmless can of corn out there to right field. They're up 1-2-3. Yamamoto puts them down 1-2-3. Top of the 11th inning. And Miggy Rowe leads off. A little tapper to third. He gets thrown out. 5-3 on the putout. One away. There's Ohtani. He grounds out. So quickly it's 2 away. And that brings up Big Will Smith, future Hall of Famer. Bam. Says, good night. Good night, Carol. He says, good night, Blue Jays. It's a solo shot, but it puts the Dodgers up 5-4 in the 11th inning of Game 7 of the World Series. I mean, if it wasn't for the heroic and gutsy performance of Yamamoto, I really think Will Smith could have been the MVP. And that puts the Dodgers up 5-4. Toronto just now their reality is setting in. It's starting to set in that they're not going to win. But still, here we go. Guerrero, of all people, who leads off? Vlad Guerrero Jr., their best hitter. And what's he do? He rips one, a fucking double down the left field line. Just absolutely murders it. And he's like, yes, come on. What do you guys, get your heads up. We're not out of this yet. He's like, come on. I got to do everything? He's like, lift your heads up. Stop crying over there. We're going to do this. This guy lays down a bunt, moves Guerrero over to third. He's out at first. So they've got the tying run 90 feet away. 90 feet away, the tying run. And this brings up Barger, the animal, the beast. I just call him the beast. Look at that dude. He looks like a fucking beast. And so he's up there and he's thinking of glory. And I really think that was kind of an unintentional, intentional walk to get to set up the force play at second. And you've got the human fire hydrant up there, who's the slowest runner in the league. And there it is. There's your double play. 6-3 double play. That ends the game. The Dodgers win 5-4. They win Game 7, 5-4. I'm in my living room now, jumping up and down and screaming. And that was beautiful. That was so beautiful. If you're a Dodgers fan, if you're a Toronto fan, not so much. But that was absolutely amazing. That was the most amazing World Series I've ever watched. The most exciting. There's Yamamoto. He's got the MVP award. There's Magic Johnson right behind him with his big fat face. So that was that. And all right, guys. Gosh, it's after 1 o'clock. Oh, I don't want that. Anyhow, I'm trying to. How do you pause this damn thing? I guess you got to hit it a million times before it'll pause. All right, so there's that. So that was the World Series. I thought it was great. George Springer, a cheater. Yeah, he's a fucking cheater, and he should be put in cheating prison for the rest of his life. Mozart, Will Smith should not have slapped Chris Warnock. This is the wrong Will Smith. That's the wrong. It's a different Will Smith. West no, Jade is not worth it. David Dog, broken bat. West Webb, we got through 4, now almost 5 years of Trump. We are surviving. So I have no idea. I wasn't watching the chat for the last, however, was that 20, 30 minutes. I have no idea what you guys were talking about. Apparently, lots of stuff. Anyway, I just want to do this as a special World Series show. I think Dodgers. I'm a Dodgers fan, and I think they deserve it. I think they deserve a Trucker John special show, and I'm sure all the Dodger players and coaching staff and managers are all watching this right now. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that was fun for me to watch that again, to relive that. I thought it was a great game. I loved it. Now, if they had lost, I guess it would be a whole different thing. But here's the thing about me. If the Dodgers had lost last night, I would have been sad, maybe a little mad, but quite honestly, within about 5 minutes, I would be over with it. And I'd be like, okay, let's get him next year. We'll get him next year. But the winning does last. It'll last all the way till like next year. Maybe not, completely like, like I'm just always be thinking about it or whatever. But still, winning is good. Winning will make me be happy for the next, all the way to the next World Series, I guess. But if they had lost, I would have been really sad and upset for about 5 minutes. I'm not one of those people. I don't. If you've seen videos of people that get so angry and they throw their TV, they kick their TV, they punch a hole in the wall, they kick their dog or whatever. I'm not that way. I don't do that shit. After about 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, we'll get him next year. We'll just get him next year. I guess I could move this back over there a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, the Rams are on now. I might have to switch over to the Rams. Let's see here. I'm just kind of trying to get a little bit situated back to more my normal setup over here. All right. Yeah, so I guess the Rams are coming on. I don't know if I have the Rams on or not. I'm just going to let me just change the channel real quick. Let's see here. Ah, there it is. Let me just check the score real quick. Rams. It's first quarter, 6-18 in the first quarter. Rams up 6-0. I don't know if they just scored a touchdown. They look all happy. I don't know if that's 2 field goals or if they just scored a touchdown and haven't gone for the extra point yet. But anyhow, Rams up 6-0. I hope the Rams kick ass today. I'm gonna have to go switch into my Rams gear in a minute here. Let's see who else is here today. We got Twister Painting. Bob LeBlanc is here. Damon Dong, Luck Dragon is here. Luck Dragon says when Toronto was up 3-1, I was a little nervous, but I had a feeling they're at least going to tie it up. Bob Reza says Rams scored. Yeah, okay. So there it is. They're going for the extra point. It might have been Higbee. I saw Higbee all getting high fives and shit. There's a flag on that play. Illegal procedure against the Rams. I think they're gonna have to kick it again, maybe. All right, yeah, Rams are up. Hopefully, they can get the kick in without illegally proceeding. Mozart knocked the dog. Christina and Son Ghost Squad's here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. As we celebrate. Today is a day of celebration of the Los Angeles Dodgers winning the 2025 World Series. Luck Dragon says Surrey, Canada. Maybe that's a mid-thread thing. David Dog says Carolina Panthers beat Green Bay Packers 16-13. Luck Dragon says I just want to know is Donald Trump would be more upset? I think he meant if. I'll do a little editing here. If Donald Trump would be more upset if Canada won or if LA won. Now I saw a meme or something that someone posted, or no, I don't know if it was fake or real, but I guess it was supposed to look like Trump posted it. Again, I don't know if it was fake or what, but he was like, it said something like, "I don't care who wins. I'm not inviting either team to the White House because Canada. He doesn't like Canada and he doesn't like LA." I saw it on Instagram, so I don't know if that was real or not. But I just wrote a comment like, "Good. I don't have to worry about whether I'm going to get pissed off or not if the Dodgers would go there." Anyhow. Luck Dragon says, this is crazy because I'm about to get the Raiders game and you're about to get the Rams game. Game? I have the NFL Sunday ticket, so I'm able to get it. I'm not watching on broadcast TV. I'm watching on YouTube. So I'm able to get all of the out-of-market games on YouTube with my Sunday NFL package or whatever they call it. David Duck says, also a celebration of our ancestors, Feliz Dia de la Muerta. I thought that was yesterday. What's the day after Halloween? Isn't that something? Look, Dragon says, how happy are you that the Raiders aren't in LA anymore? I was happy, when they moved back to Oakland, 10 years, 20 years ago, or however many years ago it was? I never thought they should come to LA in the first place. I never liked Al Davis. I never liked the Raiders. I've never liked how a lot of LA fans abandoned the Rams and immediately took up with the Raiders. I thought that was total fucking traitorism. I've never liked the Raiders, but now I do admit that now that the Raiders are here and I live here in Vegas, I do almost kind of root for them a little bit because I feel like it's a whole different thing. Al Davis is dead. His son is running the team, and his son's a moron. So, what could go wrong there? But I'm not a Raiders fan. Definitely not. But I do kind of root for them if they're playing the Chiefs or something because I'm not a Chiefs fan. If they're playing the Broncos, I'm not a Broncos fan. So I'll kind of root for the Raiders, I'm not even sure who they're playing today, actually. Josh says All Saints Day is so yesterday was All Saints Day, and is today Feliz Dia de la Muerte, the Day of the Dead or whatever. Let's see, Nick Rich 420. It's all 420. All you potheads are out there just salivating, thinking about 420. Wes Webb says last 2 days minimum. Some places celebrate for weeks. Some places are crazy. Barbara Nicholas is here. Barbara says, don't forget the Bills and KC next. Go Bills. I would root for the Bills over the KC, even though I'm not a Bills fan. So, I mean, those are games that I don't really root for either team. I just like that they're usually high scoring and exciting when those two teams play. So, and since I have no dog in the fight, I don't really care who wins. It's usually a good back and forth game. But I guess if the Bills end up winning, I seem to be a little bit happier than if KC wins. I don't know why. I really don't have a grudge against KC. I think Patrick Mahomes is a damn good quarterback. But I don't know. Nick Rich, I just got home. Luck Dragon says, yeah, but if you're in LA, you are definitely getting the Rams game right now. I'm not in LA. I'm in Las Vegas. What made you think I was in LA? Every day I start the show talking about the temperature of Las Vegas and the time of Las Vegas. David Hogg says, yes, All Saints on November 1st is for children, and today, All Souls Day, is for the adults. Oh, okay. I'm learning stuff. Looks like the Rams just did something good. What'd they do? They get a sack or something. There's the quarterback. He's going back. Yeah, yep. They sacked him. Quarterback sack. Scheisse. So it's 4th and 15 for the Saints. They're going to punt. Supposedly. Evidently. I know I shouldn't be I should probably end the show so I can watch the game properly. Decent return. Looks like the Rams are going to take over just shy of midfield. 7-0, 4:53 to go in the first quarter for the Rams. For all you Rams fans out there. Search for You says daylight saving time is kicking my butt. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm assuming it's 1:24. I didn't, because all my clocks are hooked up to the internet, so they just change automatically. I don't have any manual, other than maybe the microwave. But the microwave, I don't even have the clock on there because I'm always unplugging and unplugging it because I only have 2 plug-in there, and I've got 3 things that always need to be plugged in or that I use. So I don't even pay attention to the microwave. So everything else, it's my Apple Watch, my iPad, and my iPhone. So I didn't have to worry about changing the clocks. It just automatically did it. DPD says, TJ, the Raiders are playing the Jaguars. Oh, the Jaguars. So yeah, again, I don't really care. I guess if the Raiders won, I guess I would be happy about that. West Webb says church celebrate All Saints Day this morning. Luck Dragon, not even Bo Jackson. Okay, I don't know, mid-thread. I don't know what about Bo Jackson. He played a long, long time ago. I don't know what that was in reference to. I don't know why we're bringing up Bo Jackson all of a sudden. Luck Dragon says, wait a second. Luck Dragon says, wait a second. I thought if you had Sunday NFL package and it was your home team playing, it would block it out, so you would have to watch That's not my home team. My home team is the Raiders. I live in Vegas. Um, if the local channels here were playing the Rams game, then I would have to watch it on the local channels. I couldn't watch it on the Sunday NFL package, but they're not playing it. I haven't checked, but apparently they're not playing the game on here because we're in Vegas. I'm 300 miles. I'm 350 miles away or whatever it is from LA, or 400 miles from LA. So yeah, it's I'm not in the home market. Nick Rich, has John been caught up for the last hour? I just started basically wherever the chat was when I was done doing my little commentary of the baseball highlight. So there's about 45 minutes or at least a half an hour of chat that I didn't even see. I guess I could go back. Do you want me to go back? Is there anything that you feel I should cover, or should I go back and look at? Is there something that's really you're like thinking, dang, I wish Trucker John would have seen it? I can scroll back a little ways. I mean, I can go. Let's see how far back I can scroll back, just for the shits and giggles. This is letting me go back to where Twisted Nerve Painting said, "Mr. Spock, greetings." Oh, now it disappeared. Here's Damon Dog says, "It was the best World Series I've seen, and I'm including 4 Braves." So I did. I've already read that part. So apparently, I will never be able to see unless I'm watching the replay of about probably 40 minutes of your guys' posts. Mozart, the Dodgers won. Yeah, spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the World Series and you were planning on it, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I should have probably said spoiler alert from the very beginning. MJ Daniel from Washington State says, hate that Seattle did not go to their first series, but Toronto was really good. It was a really entertaining series anyway. Like I said in one of my videos that I posted, that a 7-game series is very entertaining. I wasn't predicting anything. I was just making a comment. Golf Marines here. Golf Marine says shenanigans used to mean illegal activities. Now it's the name of a bar and grill. Josh Sees is here. Hey, Josh, good to see you in the old dugout. We're in the dugout today. We're not in the driver's lounge. We are in the dugout. Josh Sees says, Spock, wouldn't it be the Blewett Jays now? Well, man, they had the Dodgers on the ropes. MJ said, Dennis says the last player did something like this was Babe Ruth. If you're comparing or talking about Shohei, but the thing about Ruth is that I believe, like, when he pitched, when he was a pitcher, I don't think he played in the like because they didn't have DH then. I don't think he played as a position player when he wasn't pitching. I don't. Maybe you guys can look it up. Someone can look that up. So I think he was basically just a really good hitting pitcher. And so I think he pitched like a couple years, and I think he only batted on the days that he pitched. Now I might be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but there is something that differentiates it, where it isn't a 1-for-1 comparison, between what Shohei is doing and what Babe Ruth did, as far as pitching and hitting. Like now, it's like Shohei, when he pitches and he hits, he's playing DH every day. With the Angels, he did play a lot of right field, and even with the Dodgers, I remember last year. I think it was last year. He played. He started out there playing right field for a bit, and then they ended up. And I think they were afraid he would get injured or something. So then they pretty much just DH'd him, and then all of this season, I think he just DH'd. But there is a differentiation between Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani. Golf Marine says Rolly Fingers and Jim Hunter on the same team. Yeah, Catfish Hunter, yeah, and Rolly Fingers, yeah, they were a great. And then I think Vita Blue, could stick Vita Blue in there. I think he was on that same era. So you had Rolly Fingers. Although Rolly wasn't he a reliever, but you had Catfish Hunter, Vita Blue. Who were some of the other starters? But yeah, there's some great A's teams in there. Those 70s teams, with the great Reggie Jackson and Sal Bando. Roxanne 79. Look who's live on Sunday. I know you're one happy camper Tuesday. Thank you, Roxanne. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on in. Yeah, I just thought I'd do a special little show. I might end it pretty soon because the Rams game is on, and I want to watch the Rams. And it's still the first quarter, man. This is the longest first quarter. There's still 3:42 to go in the first quarter. Rams up 7-0 over the Saints. Golf Marine says, Campaneris. Yeah, Campy Campaneris and Joe Rudy, Reggie Jackson. That was a hell of a team. Ray Fosse. Yeah, that was a hell of a. They had a run there. They was that a three-peat? Didn't they win 3 years in a row, or were they just in it 3 years in a row? I think they won it 3 years in a row. Right? Those early 70s or mid 70s. Golf Marine. I wonder what the white supremacists make of Otani. Well, they make of him what they make of anyone who isn't on their. I guess it isn't white, because I don't think they consider Asians white, even though I think aren't Asians white? I don't know, but yeah, they probably don't like him just like they don't like anybody else, unless they're not on their hate list or whatever. Epstein Files is here. I think that might be Falcor, but I'm not sure. Epstein Files says the ball field is acting as a green screen. Was it? Was it really? Because I didn't. You know what? I wasn't watching. I wasn't watching that, so I didn't see it because I had my head turned during that when I was playing the. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. So it was probably weird to watch. Yeah, Miss Spock says, "Yep, green screen on acid." Damon Dog says, "I don't have cable, so I had to arch it. I mean, I guess watch it live on the dark web." MJ Daniel, Toronto had their chances to walk it off. Yeah, Toronto had plenty of chances, but the Dodgers, they put in all those like starting pitchers, and they really gutted it out. Roxanne 79 says, "Damon Dog, nice bro. I have to save my GDP for nighttime, but you inspired me to take some more blue bleach haze distillate. Should hit in time for pizza dinner at mom's soon. Better hide." I think I stumbled into some pot talk. Josh C says, "I'm telling you, if you crossed it with football, call it baseball." Yeah, it's a commercial right now. Mozart, they have a GD pinch hitter for their pitcher. Are you talking about Shohei Ohtani? He's more than a pinch hitter. He's slightly more than a pinch hitter. Golf Marine says, "Tell us how you really feel there, TJ." Roxanne says, "I need some gummies." Yeah, Shohei Ohtani is way more than a pinch hitter. Since he's batting first in the lineup, he leads off, and he probably gets at least 4 at bats a game. That's way more than a pinch hitter does. David Dog says, "I would have loved to hear TJ commenting in real time during the games." I was actually thinking about doing a live stream and have it just pointed at me while I was watching the game, because I don't think you could, because if you just have the camera or on the game, I think I would get shut down or something. DPD, how did George Springer cheat? Just look it up. He cheated during the Houston Astros Dodgers World Series a few years ago. You can look it up. It's in the record books. They have asterisks. Houston has asterisks next to that World Series win because they cheated. They were stealing signs by watching. It's one thing to steal a sign. Like if you're a player or even a coach, and you're on the field and you're able to figure out their signs, and then you tell your players, or you go, hey, it's going to be a fastball or whatever. That's one thing. I have no problem with that. But they had someone watching a TV. They could see, this is before the little electronic pitch count that they do now. They could see the catcher putting down the signals and stuff. And so they knew what the pitches were. And then they had somebody else banging a trash can really loud, and you could hear it. You could hear that in the broadcast. And it was like, one bang was a fastball, two bangs is a curveball, or whatever it was. And so they knew the pitches that were coming, and they just started fucking railing. They just started fucking hitting every pitch. It was as though they knew what was coming. If a big league hitter knows what's coming, they're going to hit the ball 9 times out of 10 instead of 3 times or 2.5 times out of 10 or 3 times out of 10. They're going to hit it 9 times out of 10 or 9.5 times out of 10. So yeah, they cheated, and you can look it up. They wouldn't. Major League Baseball didn't have the balls to take away the championship away from them like they probably should have, and awarded it to the Dodgers. But they did put an asterisk by it, so you can go look at the Major League record book, and next to their the World Series champion for 2019, they have a big old fat asterisk because they cheated, and George Springer was one of the main cheaters. So he can go fuck himself. Whenever I see George Springer come to plate, I'm just like, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. And he can apologize all he wants. I don't give a fuck. Because he has apologized, but I don't give a fuck. Golf Marine, give a Dodger side eye, and TJ thinks that had nothing to do with side eye, Golf Marine. I just explained how they did it. I just explained. Roxanne says, look how long TJ's here, almost like Hal's. Hardly. I think Hal's is almost to his ass by now. David Dog, the winning play was when the ball got stuck in the wall padding. That was game 6. That, talk about weird flukes, weird fluky things. That was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen happen. All right, guys. I'm just sort of seeing if there's something I missed. Roxanne says, Trucker John, Jen says, congratulations. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Roxanne. I appreciate it. Rob Law says, too bad the Dodgers went MAGA. They went and bowed to Trump before and will likely again. They're not MAGA. There might be MAGA players. I can't control that. There's probably maggots on every fucking team. So I can't control that shit. All I can do is watch the games and enjoy the games, and I don't need you coming in and trying to, take away my happiness. I really don't. Roxanne says, Damon Dog, it would have been fun to watch TJ watching it live. The commentary is cracking me up. Roxanne, I didn't realize Dodgers were in blue uniforms. Yeah, West. Has anybody told John that TV is picking up green screen effect? No, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. Damon Young, a lot of pissed off Canadians. Just for you says at least the Canadians don't have to go to the White House. According to that screen or that posting that I saw, Trump wasn't going to invite either Canada or LA because he didn't like him. He's a big fucking baby. He doesn't like him. West Webb, I live closer to Toronto than to LA. You know, duh. David, I got to name the next new chicken Dodger, Mr. Spock. David Doug says TJ missed a lot of good chat. Well, that was, that's the way it goes. Mr. Spock, I might call it Elvis or something. Okay, so here we are. It's the second quarter. Rams up 7-0. I think I'm gonna call it a day here. Thanks for coming in and hanging out, guys. I do appreciate you. We got almost an hour and a half in the show here today for a Sunday for an impromptu. I really, I just kind of just did this. I put that little intro together real quick, and I just wanted to do a little something special for the Dodgers. Because that's my team. Who knows? You never know. They might not be back for another 32 years. You just never know. I'm hoping that we three-peat, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, my team, my favorite teams, whether it's the Rams or the Dodgers or I want them to win every single game, and I want them to win, bigly. But of course that's not realistic. But still, every single game I watch, I want the Rams or the Dodgers to win, and I don't even want it to be close. But I'm just glad that they won the World Series, and they're the champs. Dodgers are the champs. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I'm going to go ahead and close this down because I want to watch the rest of the game. I might order me a pizza or something and watch the rest of this game. Have me a Modelo or two and just sort of bask in the glory of Dodger victory over the Toronto Blue Jays. Nothing against the Toronto Blue Jays. I tip my hat to them. They played a great series. They're a great team. This Ernie Clements guy, hitting machine. I mean, every time he was at bat, he seemed like he was getting a hit. Barger is a beast. Varsho out there in the outfield. Vladdy Jr., phenomenal. Bo Bichette with some heroic moments there, playing on some bad, gimpy knees. Yeah, tip of the hat to the Toronto Blue Jays. And they might be around again next year. Who knows? And certainly postseason, they might make it to the World Series again. Good young team, good coaching staff. So who knows? It might be a rematch, Dodgers Blue Jays next year. But it's a long way off, and a lot of things can happen. With player injuries and just players, not being as good one year as they are, from year to year. So you just never know. But yeah, my tip of the hat to the Blue Jays. Great team, and exciting World Series that I think it was. So that they provided for us. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys on Monday. We'll come back tomorrow. That's tomorrow, right? I'm like, not used to it on a Sunday. Like, oh, it's tomorrow. So tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Again, I don't know if Hal Sparks is going to be on. I know he's dealing with some really serious stuff with his dad. Um, his dad is in hospice, and I know basically what that means. It's a countdown to how many days you got left and hours you got left. When my dad, they sent him home on hospice, it was like, um, you know, the end was near. So as far as I don't know, I'm just gonna still do my regular schedule though at 11 a.m. Pacific time right here on the Trucker John channel, and hopefully to see you guys again, and we can talk about hot talk. I don't know. We can talk about whatever we talk about normally, but a little bit of baseball might pop in there. I might be, I might be gloating all the way until the Dodgers are eliminated, if they ever get eliminated. Hopefully, next year they make. I'm hoping they'll make it to the World Series again. So, but until they get mathematically eliminated, I'll be gloating and happy about the Dodger winning. Let Dragon says best World Series I've ever seen in my life. Is when the A's beat the Dodgers after the earthquake, and you will never take that away from me. Are you talking about after which earthquake? Because the earthquake I remember was the Battle of the Bay when it was the Giants against the A's, and there was the earthquake during the game that knocked down remember the bridge and the fucking freeway, the 880 or whatever it was, and the was it the Oakland Bridge, and the middle sections came out. I remember that during the Giants A's World Series. The Dodgers A's earthquake. Which one was that? Well, it wasn't during Northridge earthquake, was it? Was that 94? Northridge earthquake? Was the Dodgers in that one? Is that the one you're talking about? Anyhow, all right. We'll look that up. We'll talk about that maybe on tomorrow's show. All right. Go Dodgers. Congratulations, Dodgers. You guys did great. All of y'all's, all you Dodgers. Luck Dragon 90 in 1990. Okay. Anyhow, we'll talk about that later. I got to go. I'm going to watch the game, and I'm going to get the Modelo's, and I want to get the pizzas and all that stuff. So for the next rest of this game, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time zone. All right. And I just want to say congratulations to the Dodgers. I'm not really big into baseball, but I know congratulations. Trucker John's happy, so whatever. Maybe it'll help him be less cranky around the house. I don't know. But congratulations to the Dodgers, and I'm just glad that they didn't use any tough cookies for the bases, because that's what they used to do in the old days. So I'm glad we've ended that era of using tough cookies as bases, because it was horrible. It was a horrible time in our history. So I'm glad they don't do that. Hey, I remember Raleigh Fingers. By the way, someone mentioned Raleigh Fingers, and I believe he kind of copied my style with mustache a little bit. I remember that. I was going, Raleigh, what are you trying to copy me or something? What's up with that? With your big handlebar mustache. So, of course, he wasn't purple like I am. What's going on with the side of my face? I guess it's the TV. But yeah, and I'm here to say thank you guys very much for being here today, and we'll see you again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Be a great thing to do. We're at 4,108. I think we broke the 4,180 mark. So We're doing pretty good on that, but let's keep those subscriptions coming on in. Oh, and Trucker John just hit 1 million views. Did you guys hear about that? So again, thank you guys so much for watching all of Trucker John's videos. He hit 1 million views the other day, which is, I think, pretty remarkable for this being a smaller channel with 4,180 subscribers, and we've hit over 1 million views. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know Trucker John's really happy about that. Yeah, I am really happy about that. Oh, I'm sorry. I put my helmet when I watch football. I always put my helmet on. I know I need a Rams helmet. This does look like a Giants helmet. Someone mentioned that. But yeah, I was just I wasn't expecting on coming back on camera, and Paul threw it over to me. I'm watching football, guys. I'm watching football here. All right, guys. See you later. I guess we could do some words of wisdom, even though it's Sunday. All right, you guys ready for the words of wisdom? Ready to write this down? All right, here we go. So for today's words of wisdom, just remember.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John Livestream. Yeah, the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John Livestream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs. Shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now my apartment in Las Vegas. I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free. So you want to take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills, it's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows, so go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road, just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret, it'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life, everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot, you're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along.
Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye. See you later.
Good morning.
Good morning. We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
What's a black grand national? Being rational, give them what they ask for.
Yes! 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 Woo! The Dodgers won! The Dodgers won! Yes! Yes! Woo-hoo-hoo! Dodgers won the World Series! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, Clayton, yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh my God! Oh my God, that was the most amazing World Series ever. Dodgers! Yeah.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time.